screen share button, and whatever you're using to share the 5 images, you'll just select on that then. And then I'm going to click it over to your screen so that it stays on you.
Okay, we'll see it from the images from Google Plus.
Great.
Okay. Let me. Okay. Can you see it now?
I can. Beautiful. Okay, so you're gonna start, and you're gonna tell me a little bit about creating the image and what went into it, and then I'm gonna give you my thoughts after I hear what you like and don't like and all that good stuff.
Okay. Okay, this is first. This was an image we created with, it was a programmed shooting with some dresses from a designer I know who makes beautiful medieval dresses and steampunk dresses also, but I like the medieval more. And this is a model I worked some time ago. And Okay, we did that. The reason why it's here is because I think this could be a product I could sell to someone who's interested in some kind of fantasy or things like that, not the usual photos, to sell something different. And this is why I put this here, because it's one of my personal works, but I imagine I can imagine other people here, not only models or beautiful girls or things like that. And this is the reason why it's here. Um, I don't have
Okay.
any more to say about this.
So I'm madly in love with your work. I was in love with your work as soon as I saw it in the Arcanum
Thank you.
database. There's a very almost illustrative quality to your work. Like, you are a painter with a camera, and I adore it. And this image is exactly why. It's got this very Lord of the Rings kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
I love the outfit. I love the styling. I love the headpiece. I love the purple on the bottom, and I love the texture of the image. It's beautifully exposed. The only things that I have as far as critique go, I don't know if she has her one leg up on the step or not, but you're losing, I think, a little bit of her shape with the angle of her legs and the fabric, the way that it's draped. I would have liked to have maybe seen her actually either come all the way up or come away a little bit or lean against the wall. It's a little bit awkward with her body language. And
Yeah.
the other thing is that, as much as I love, and I love the big flowing sleeves that are very popular for that time period and that style piece. It really widens out her body because there's no separation between her arms and her figure. So if you had her pull it away a little bit to where we could have seen some of the wall in between the sides of her waist and her hips and the sleeves of the dress, I think it would have been a little bit more flattering for her. But that's really the only critique that I have to offer with it. It's a little color heavy in the way that it drapes down and off to one side, just because there's no color anywhere else. It's all got that kind of cream feel. So I think the weight distribution of the color is just a little bit stuttered. But overall, I totally think that it works. It's a beautiful image. It would definitely make your portfolio for me. So I'm going to give you a 3. I think it's an exemplary image as far as your current level.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I wasn't so sure about this one. Okay, that's great.
Great. So the next one. Yep.
Okay. This is an image which is in my fine art portfolio, but it's from a pregnant shooting. It's from a commission at work. She's a girl I know. She's a friend of my sister, and she's a dancer. And it's here again for the same reason, because I think I can do something that mixes the way I see the fine art and the way I see the portraits in some more artistic way. and it's here because I really like this image. I'm in love with this because she's so beautiful and she moves around so beautifully, and well, I really like it. But I also think it can be something to sell to people interested in different types of images, not the usual image of a pregnant woman with her hands in her belly and things like that, which is great.
Yeah.
But I think maybe someone, I don't know, she proposed to go to the sea because she's a dancer. She dances Indian dance and things related to nature, and she was the one who said, "Let's go to the sea." So maybe she's not the only one in the world.
And it is. I'm in complete agreement with you. The little hands on the belly in the shape of the heart, I think, is very, very tired. So I love seeing someone that's really celebrating the beauty of motherhood and not just the arrival of the new family member,
Hmm.
which I think there's a place for both. But again, this is art. It's not a maternity portrait, which I love.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the coloring here and the fact that her hair picks up a lot of the blue tones that are in the water.
Hmm.
Um, and you see it a little bit on her skin as well. There's a lot of talk about cropping in terms of cropping the actual image and cutting off at limbs and stuff, but I think sometimes you can do that visually with different elements of the photograph. So I really love that there's like an implied nudity,
Hmm.
that the water's just high enough and the hair is perfectly positioned. But I feel like with her being a dancer, that you lose probably a lot of the emotion of the pose because we can only see the top half of her body. It might have been stronger without it, but that's not enough for it to ruin the image for me. I love the expression on her face. Um, I think it may have been stronger if you had actually switched the hands and had the farther one away from her, up. Um,
Yeah.
but I do really love it as a whole, and I think it's such a striking image as a maternity photo. Like it's so original compared to what everybody else has. So this one, yeah, this one would definitely make your portfolio with me too, and I think it's so visually different in the whole composition and the emotion and the focus. I'm going to give it an exemplary as well.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Next one then.
Yep.
Okay. This one is also here for this reason. Okay, because it's not easy. I've done several shootings with kids and girls and little boys and little girls, and I find it very very difficult to find some way to add some kind of magic, some kind of fantasy, a little composite, something like that, but uh, not being too much. And this is one that I like because it's just almost as it were. i I just added some editing in Photoshop, but the light was just like this. It was a sunset. It was a beautiful light, and I just added the butterfly. I like it because I think it's something I have to try more often. Try to um, be capable to do it more often and to adapt the ideas to every family or every child and to find new ideas and not always the butterfly thing, it's
Hmm.
okay, it's okay, but we see it a lot also. And I think it's pretty commercial, uh, and it was a beautiful moment also because she was difficult. um,
It is a beautiful photo. I do think it's a little more commercial and a little more away from the artistry that you have in the first two images.
mhm,
Um, I love the little element of the butterfly. I don't see any mom looking at this picture and not taking it home with her kids. The lighting's gorgeous on it, the location's beautiful, and she just looks adorably flawless like babies are. Um,
mhm.
but I do think that in comparison to the strength of the artistry of the other pieces, that this one is falling just a little bit flat. I don't think it's as powerful and as emotionally evocative as your other images. It's still definitely got the all factor, but I don't think it's setting you apart from the rest of the photography world the way that the maternity image is,
Mm.
for sure. So um, I love the coloring, love the lighting. I think it's a beautiful portrait for anybody that wanted to get into children's portrait photography. It would just excel by leaps and bounds. But I think in contrast with your other artistry and measuring it just against the potency of your work, I think that this one's just a little bit below par for me. So I'm going to give it a 2.
Okay.
I think that it's a commendable image, but I just don't think it quite has the power that the other ones you have do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I find the most difficult,
Yeah.
especially with children. I don't know why. I have to know why. Okay. Uh, okay. This is my sister, and this is one of my fine art portfolio images. But I think okay, when I uploaded this picture to Facebook and Flickr, and uh, two or three people told me, "Oh, I want a picture like that." And I thought, okay, maybe I could do this also, or things similar to this one, um, just as a commission at work, because this happens often to me, but then usually it doesn't ends as a shooting. It just ends as an intention of the viewer. Oh, I
Hmm.
would love to see myself there, but they're really saying I would love to see there for free.
Yeah.
And yeah, this, but well, it's not. If I had to choose this image for my fine art portfolio, it's not one of the ones that I like most. But I
Mhm.
think it can work as a commercial, maybe with a different crop, because I always tend to crop a square, and it's not, well, in a commercial work you can, it's easier to crop different and horizontal or things like that to
Mhm.
be easier to put in a frame for the for the client. And it was a, a special image because my sister asked to be this way. She wanted to be in this place with the wind because this is a very special place. It's the most eastern part of my country. In it's a cape, and we have a wind here, the tramontana, which is very, I don't know, typical here, and we love it and we like it. And it was a demand of her. I want to be there in a windy day and with this kind of dress, and I just did
Nice.
it.
And I love the composition and the idea behind this shot. It doesn't necessarily bother me that it's square, but I do think that it would probably be a stronger image as a landscape crop.
Yeah.
Um, the the rock that's out from the water behind her, I think, is a little bit distracting just because of the color difference and the thing leading into it. I might have been inclined to actually clone that out and just leave it as a strong water line.
Hmm.
Um, I love the flow of the fabric. I love the punch of the color with the fabric. Um, and maybe it's the square crop with it, but I feel like a lot of your other editing has a more dreamlike quality, and this is almost like believable coloring. So it's actually reminding me a little bit of like an Instagram filter more than like a finely
Hmm.
retouched art image. But that said, that it still leaps and bounds above a lot of the other work that I see online. I definitely think it has the potential to be a really good seller for potential clients saying, you know, you can come in and wear this dress and be this person,
Okay.
which is a very attractive person. So I'm going to give it a commendable. I'm going to give it a 2. I still think it's a really beautiful, strong image, but again, I just don't feel like it's quite hitting the exemplary level that the 2 original images had.
Okay. Okay.
But I
Great.
do really love it.
Okay. Thank you. And this is the last one, I think. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. This is the first, almost the first one I did. The first shooting I did. um, with I don't know how to say it, with an idea behind it, with a wardrobe and the crown, the flowers crown, the, everything was programmed and we worked a lot to get there. It's a picture from 2012. It's an old picture. It's out of focus because I wasn't so good at the technical things like I am now. Um, but I love it because it's Ophelia theme and it's a story which is very recurrent in my portfolio, and this is what I want to do in my fine art aspects. I like this kind of things to talk about a history and to find the elements of the history and do it with a low budget and a great model and work with the people around me because this was the first shooting we did with my sister, my brother-in-law, uh, which are my assistants always now, and this is what I love uh, to do in my own time and in my own, I don't know, my own
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, this is a beautiful image, and this kind of artistry is what really drew me to you and seduced me artistically. I just think that you have this dream painter kind of capability to your images when you're really involved in it, and it's definitely showing through here. I love the painterly quality of it. This is fine art,
Mm.
with a photographic base. um it's it's a little bit soft focus, but I don't think it's out of focus. You can definitely see the eyes and the lips and the flowers. You're focusing on that more than anything else. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more light fall off, I think, from the bottoms of her legs where they kind of dissolve into the background a little bit more, because I feel like you're doing that a lot on the edges of the shoulders and the upper arms where you're kind of losing them into the fabric. And because the dress is so white, it's drawing you more to her hands than her face, and the eyes and the face should always be primary anytime that the
Hmm.
person is the focus of the image. Which I think you could have just probably gone in and just dodged and burned or turned the exposure down a little bit there and maybe let that blur out a little bit, and that would help ground the viewer's eyes towards the face first and the rest secondary. But overall, I think it's a really, really beautiful image. This one definitely would make your portfolio with me, and I'm going to give you an exemplary.
Okay, thank you.
Yay! Okay,
Okay,
so
we're
you
done.
can you can go up top and turn off the screen share. That way you can see
Okay.
your lovely face.
Okay. Oh. Mm. Okay, it's done, I think. Mm. Ah, okay, okay. Here, right now.
Okay, good. Okay,
Oh.
so you're still one of my newer apprentices. You came in a little bit later than everyone, which can be really daunting now that there's so much info. So I'm really excited that we're finally getting the chance to kind of sit down and one-on-one. So I would love to hear a little bit about where you're at artistically and professionally, and what it is that you're looking to do. Like, if I could be your photographic fairy godmother and wave a wand, like, what's the end goal, what's the success, and what is it that you're looking to accomplish?
Okay. Well, right now, I began in photography just for fun because many years ago I went to college to study history of art, which is the name here for the studies. And but then I became a saleswoman, and I'm doing sales right now. I work for a company. I never thought I always wanted to do something artistic, but I never found in what I was good until I found photography. Um, well, it began as a game and as just something I did for me,
Mm-hmm.
uh, which I've never done before, I think. um, and then I began to do some commissioned work for friends and things like that. And I thought, okay, this could be a great way to live the other half of my life if I live another half. I was 40 2 days ago, so
Happy birthday.
thank you. I had to say it because I was so happy.
No,
Okay.
that's good. And you know what? Like we celebrate birthdays, so you actually get the same number of karma points that you're celebrating. So however many
Oh,
years you want to admit to, you can go and add that to your karma chart.
oh, that's great. Thank you. Okay. So, what am I now? I want to do photography. I don't know if I can do it full time. I hope so, but I'm not sure because, well, mostly because of the situation here, because it's very difficult to live from just one job uh, for many people. It's not a thing about photography itself. It's a thing about the job here. Many people live with just €1,000 a month and they're happy. And in my job, there have been difficulties and the earnings are coming down. And photography right now is helping me pay my bills.
Okay.
And I'm willing to do more. Um, and my dream would be to live out of photography, of course, because I love it and I find it more exciting and challenging and that my work. I'm really tired of my work and it's really hard to do and I love it also, but it has become too hard. Um, this is where I am. I'm planning with a friend who's a marketing expert on how to find my potential clients and to find my own potential and which I am and where I'm good at and what I can sell and with everything. And this is why I entered the Arcanum, in fact, because I want to expand my fine art capabilities and to be better at that. But this is something I do from instinct. Of course, I can learn a lot from you and from the other apprentices and from all the people I know every day. But I'm really, I think I need more help in the other thing, in the business thing,
Hmm.
and this kind of things. Because, especially when I started to watch tutorials and classes, workshops online, and things like that from the United States or from many other people, I see things are working very different than here. I see many photographies here live in a very little world, and this is not what I see outside my boundaries. And this is one of the things I like the most in the Arcanum, the opportunity to find um, people from another place because we are so depressed here, you know. Everyone is depressed. We've
That's
been in a
everywhere.
crisis for, and I don't know. And this is where I am. I don't know exactly how to mix everything, but my I have so many ideas for, especially for mothers and newborns. Mm, with this line I opened with this picture of the dancer. I have to work a lot, and right now I'm with my leg at home, and well, I'm doing what I can.
Okay.
And this is where I am, and this is where I need help.
Okay. So here's the thing is that you are an artist through and through. Like your work has a very captivating quality that a lot of other photographers or other artists in any genre don't have. So the business side, piece of cake, that works for everyone. That can be taught to anyone. You cannot teach people to see the way that you see, and you cannot teach them to create the way that you create. That's something in you that other people are not going to have. And
Yeah.
it it's very easy for me to get frustrated on your behalf if you're wasting your time at a job that isn't fulfilling for you because the rest of the world is being deprived of your artwork as a result of that, and it belongs on galleries and it belongs in in beautiful lobbies of hotels, and it belongs in homes, and it belongs in books on the shelves that people can look at and just marvel and get lost in because your work has that sort of enchantment, that I think is really, really powerful. Um, so when you're looking outside and seeing that other places in the world seem to be a little bit bigger than yours, the nice thing is that the internet connects us all over the world. We have like 20 different countries represented between the two houses just that I run. There are over 90 different countries applying to be in the Arcanum from literally all over the world, and it's all closed down. Like, we sit and have conversations about what people are having for coffee that morning, and you're talking to someone in Switzerland and someone in Spain and someone in America, and so it's very easy for you to not only present your art where you are, but to present it to the whole world. And I
Hmm.
think that the whole world would be moved by it. Um, so if your goal is to take that and be able to do that full time, then I think really the best thing to do is to actually start back planning. So you said that you have a lot of stuff for newborns. What do you really love to shoot? Do you love doing the children and the newborns as much as you love doing some of the other fine art portraits? Like, what really lights you on fire?
Uh, I think everything. Um, I've done just a few newborns and just from friends and things like that. Um, I love especially pregnant women. Maybe
Okay.
it's a personal thing because I don't know, everything I do in fine art it's so personal. I don't do anything that I don't feel in my inside. And as I have a very, very bad pregnancy, but a great boy, um, I think I'm fascinated by pregnant women and pregnant, active, and beautiful, and I don't know, this kind of woman.
Mm-hmm.
I love them. I love newborns also. I don't have the practice with them. I know but I have so many ideas related to this kind of natural and organic things. Because here, all the photographers I know in my area, are doing this engaged style, which is very beautiful. But it's not what I want to do. I see pregnant and woman and newborns as a perfect I don't know aspect of nature. I don't know, uh,
Mm-hmm.
the best thing we have as humans, maybe. um, I don't know, and this is what I like. But I also like kids and little girls. I like them because they are so I like to be around them because they don't lie. I don't know. They lie, but they're different from adults. They're so special. They have their fantasy, and they are not as limited as we are. And you
Yeah.
can tell a children, what do you want on your picture? And this is a thing that happened actually to me. I want to fly among clouds and fishes. And I said, oh, okay, that's great. That's
That's
perfect.
awesome.
And the mother said, no, fishes don't go around clouds because they are on the sea. And I said, oh, don't do that because she's great. She's got a great idea, and it turned out a very funny picture. So, and I like adults also, but maybe I want to do food photography or architectural photography. I want to do nothing without people, maybe.
Okay.
I like everything related to people, and I love weddings also.
Okay.
It's amazing because I don't like to go to weddings, but I like to photograph weddings.
All right. You know what? And I'm the same way. Like, I was definitely a people photographer from the very beginning. I like that interaction with people. I loved the romance of weddings and made very good living with weddings, and I got to be a part of a lot of really special moments. So I'm a big advocate for that if you love it. And it's one of the easiest ways I think to make a steady and good income as far as photography with a portraiture base. But I think, and I haven't seen any of your wedding images, but I think that your artistry is really potent. And I'm hearing a couple of different things that I think would be good points for you to consider monetizing on. Number one, I think that if you really, really love the maternity and the way that you talk about that, that is the last thing that any pregnant woman is feeling. And you know that because you have one. Like, we don't feel beautiful and exceptional and like perfect existences of nature at its prime. We feel fat and swollen and
Yeah.
sweaty and hungry and angry and emotional. So to be able to take someone feeling those things and remind them how beautiful and sensuous and just miraculous what they're doing and being really is, I think is really, really strong. I have a very strong affinity for maternity photography as well. I don't do children anymore, but I used to do one that was called Belly to Baby, and it would be a full collection that would include the maternity and art portraits, and it would also include baby portraits at newborn, 4 months, 8 months, and then a 1 year thing. And we would do like a cake smashing one where we would just sit them down in front of a big, beautiful cake and just let them go to town. It was a big mess. And it was so much fun all the time. It was so freaking cute. But it was a really good way to basically stretch out an entire year's worth of income from one client, because they changed so much that first year. You know, after that, it's like once you hit that 1 year mark, then you can do it like annually, like school pictures, you know, holiday portraits kind of thing. But it's like once a year. But that first year, they're changing so much into these little people, and the moms don't want to miss that. So I think that that could be a really strong pull for you to have these beautiful art pieces of them becoming mothers, and then have an entire collection of the babies from right after they're born until 1 year. The other thing is I love that you sat down with this little girl and created an image with her in the sky with the fish, like swimming in the sky. Like, I love that. I bet that is an epic image, and I want you to share it in the group because I'm really excited to see how that turned out. But I think that it would be a really amazing experiential photography thing that nobody around you would be doing if you build it where the children got to come in and sort of do a consultation with you, or maybe even make a drawing of what they want the picture to be, where there's an added element of that creativity and you fostering that in children, because they do have such open minds, and the rest of the world does exactly that. They go, well, that's silly. Fish they're not in the clouds, they're in the sea. You know, that's just nonsense. But I bet that there is the potency and the potential for some really incredible collaborations that way. And if that aspect of children really appeals to you and is part of what you love about photographing them, being able to collaborate on that way and create these amazing art images, that would be an incredible gallery show.
Oh, okay.
Like, that would definitely, yeah.
It's an idea. It's a great idea.
So I think it would be the kind of thing that you would probably be able to do it and make it like an annual thing where you would be able to do these children portraits where the children are helping to create this sort of fantasy world of where they live, like their own version of Wonderland. And you could create these portraits all year, and then at the end of the year, you could do a gallery show. You could even do it online, and it would be very easy to build a lot of momentum and like social media buzz about it, because it could be the kind of thing where you're like, which kid has the best imagination, you know, and you post all the photos up, and whoever gets the most likes, you know, or the most shares kind of thing. You know, it's all a very organic guerrilla marketing kind of thing, but it would put your work out to everywhere in the world all at once through social media without you spending a dime. And I think that it would be really powerful as the imagery, because it's something that the parents can appreciate, and something that children can appreciate, and something that artists can appreciate, and you would pull all those dynamics into one. I would love to see what you could do with that. I think you would kill it.
It's a great idea.
It's your idea. I just heard it.
Okay. It's great. It's great. Yeah, that's fine. I like it.
As far as the financial aspect and being able to do it full time, that's really just back planning. Like, a lot of people look at what the people around them are charging and what the standard is and what, you know, charging what they're worth or whatever. But really, it's as simple as, like, right now at your job currently, if you were to quit that, you would have to be making at least the amount of money that you're making there in photography, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So
okay. Yeah.
So give me an idea. Give me like a number that you're working with.
Oh,
Like how much money would you have to put in your bank account every month to quit photography?
okay. Including taxes, which are really expensive here, because you have to pay 300 euros just to work.
Okay.
Um, I think it would have to be 2,000, 2,005,
Okay.
2,500 euros at least,
Okay. So
because
let's
that's
uh
a lot of
let's
money here.
let's round it up a little higher and just make it 3,000.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So basically, that's depending on how you break it down, then you just start deciding how you want to build your business. So if you want to work 1 day a month and put all of your energy into this one session and then spend the rest of the time editing it, then you're only booking one session a month at 3,000, which is not impossible. We're gonna have to do some math, which is not my strong point, and see exactly what the conversion rate is. But I make 2,500 to 3,500 per session in U.S. dollars here. So it's not impossible. There are people that do it, but if you don't want to be that high end, and if you like working, like you just start dividing it. Like if you're at 3,000 for one session, you go, well, I'll work 3 sessions a month. Now you're only at 1,000. If you're going to do 6 sessions, it's only 500. Which starts to sound a lot less intimidating. Like 6 sessions a month, like you're still having 24 days free to do your editing, your marketing, spend time with your family and all of that, and it's only 500, per session.
Yeah.
That's a lot less daunting. You can take it down even further and go, okay, well, I'm only going to charge 250, and it's still only 12 sessions a year, or I'm sorry, 12 sessions a month, which is
Yeah.
still only like one session every 3 days. And the way that business works in general is that you either do high volume, low cost, which means you have people just running in and out. I don't think that that would work for you just because of the amount of time and energy that you put into creating art pieces. You're not snapping shutters and handing a diskette images. You're going in and spending a lot of time. So you couldn't have a client, 2, 3 clients in a day, or even a client every day, because you would get backlogged, I think, on the editing process and the creation aspect. So I would be more inclined to see you build sort of the medium volume, medium price tag, or the low volume, high price tag, where you're only doing a couple sessions a month, but you can really pour yourself into those sessions 100% without feeling like you're neglecting other clients or you're getting backlogged. I would say, probably at maybe 4 to 6 sessions a month. And if you know that you want to make at least 3,000, then it's just a division number. If you're doing 6 sessions a month at 3,000, it's only 500 euros per
Yeah.
studio session.
Yeah, that's a lot of money here.
Okay.
Yeah, uh, I mean a lot, because I know there are people who can pay this, um, but I'm not so sure. I don't know. People is used here to pay I don't know, 1,500 or even 2,000 for a wedding, but not 500 for just a shooting, a session. I don't know why. We are a very sad country and we don't love art here. We have very good artists, but people are really not inclined to pay for art. And this is one of the things I have to work, because I think I can do it, but I don't know exactly how. Um, and 500 euro, it's a lot of money, because most of the people I know live with 1,000 a month, and they just pay their mortgage and their food and their children's school, and okay, that's it.
Yep.
It's
Nope. Most of
difficult.
the
I'm
people
not
I know
sure.
too. Most of the
Yeah,
people I know too. And the average session around me for boudoir photography is about $250, and they hand them a disc of images before they walk out the door. I am
yeah, I
not the
know.
norm. You are not the norm either. You are creating this beautiful artistic masterpiece in every image. You are pouring your heart and soul. I see you all over that. That is not a portrait photographer. That's a photographic artist. It's totally different. What's going to make
Yeah.
it worth that amount of money is the fact that it was created by you. So I think that we need to kind of work around a little bit about the fact that where you are in your current financial place with the kind of money that you make and the kind of money that you're used to spending on things, and therefore usually the company you keep is usually around the same. That's your frame of reference, but that's not reality. That's just your perception of reality from where you are right now. There's absolutely people that are willing to pay that amount. And I'm willing to bet that if you do some research and go search, top paid or expensive photographers in your area, you'll find some that are in those price ranges, even if you can't quite wrap your head around the fact that people will pay for that now. I'm
Yeah.
also very much a big believer that you could probably get model releases signed by your clients as you were creating it and do it at maybe a lower thing. So it might be the kind of thing that if, let's just say for the point of example that you were charging $500 a session. If you were to offer them a discount, or consider it a modeling artist fee, or however we decide to term it, but basically it says that they're going to sign a full model release that allows you to sell the images as art images too, then I think that you could also network very heavily with galleries and online and sell your work for art's sake, where it wouldn't matter who the model was. It wouldn't be a paid commission as a service. It would be somebody that goes, oh my God, I love that image. I have to have that on my wall, which I totally see people connecting to and resonating with, like the image of the pregnant dancer. And some of the other ones, I think that there would be a potential for different markets like greeting card companies. I could totally see them on like really fine art edition greeting cards in different bookstores and things. I could see them in galleries. I could see them as like artist prints and things that people could pick up and buy in smaller quantities. I could see them as digital files for wallpapers, for phones and laptops and things like that. Like your images are the kind of images people want to look at. They do. Like you can get lost in your images. Please see the value in that.
Yeah.
Because as they start to see them and they start to get used to it, it's not going to be hard for you to command any price you want, because they're not going to be able to get it anywhere else. And even if they can, they're not going to want it anywhere else because it won't matter, because it's not an image created by Monica.
Yeah.
It's the artist. Yeah. That's what, like, when the artist is well known, when the artist doesn't need to sign their name at the bottom of the painting, that's when the signature becomes more valuable and, oh, it's signed by them. Yeah. It's the same kind of thing. You're thinking in the context of a business and thinking in the context that what you're doing is service related, which it absolutely is, and you can gain immediate income from that, but really you're an artist. If I was going to pay someone to create a really beautiful artistic fantasy portrait of me right now, I would pick you.
No, thank you.
And I would be more than happy to pay those kind of rates for it. So you're not wrong. The economy may not be well. We are definitely a luxury item, whether it's service or, art related. But the end result of that is that when people form an emotional attachment to something, money becomes secondary. People buy things they can't afford all the time. They buy cars, they buy houses, they buy TVs, they buy clothes, that aren't necessarily intelligent financial decisions for them with their current budget, but they buy it because of how it makes them feel. And your work definitely makes people feel something when they look at it. So let everybody else hold on to the idea that they can't make that kind of money. I absolutely believe with every fiber of my being that you could. If I didn't, I wouldn't have invited you to come join.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I understand that it can be a little daunting and intimidating when you first start out, and I did not start out at $2,000. I remember telling my first client that I was really expensive at $75, you know,
I know.
and really believing that that was expensive at the time too, and we laugh about it now. So I think it's the kind of thing that since you have your other job and we're working up to it, to focus on the amount of time that you want to spend. So if we're going to say 6 sessions, we can ramp you up. So what are you charging for a session now? If I called and said I wanted maternity photos, what is that?
Oh, okay. I start at 90 euros for 5 pictures because I arrived to a way of pricing that it's based on the final images, 5 or 10 or 50 to 20, and because I wanted to have something not so expensive, because many of the people who ask are from the people I know, and I don't know, I don't relate to rich people, and it's working pretty well. But I know it's cheap. I mean, if I count the hours I spend doing these 5 pictures, it's not paid. But I don't know. I'm just starting. I'm just trying to find a way to be affordable to many different kind of peoples.
Yeah, but
Um,
it's not. When you're that low priced, you're teaching people to not
yeah.
value you because they're not putting enough of an investment in. Like, I'm not even gonna harass you by telling you how much money you're probably making for the amount of hours that you're putting in, but I'm guessing it's like €1 per hour. You're like way below minimum
Yeah, I
wage.
know.
But
Yeah, I
even
know.
at 5 images, like you're only charging less than 20 per image. That's
Yeah, that's right.
that's
Mm.
really low. That's really low. So I really want you to at least double your prices overnight tonight.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
serious. Like it's if you don't appreciate and value your art, how will you teach anybody else to?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm totally okay with you, but I think maybe it's an excuse, but I think I'm not in the right
Hmm.
moment to do this, because um, I don't know. It's difficult to find the words. Also, I'm trying to work in a more cohesive way of working. I don't know, more comprehensive and more. Um, uh, I don't know. I don't find a word. Something more constructed
Okay.
to sell, because I'm just doing uh, too many mistakes. I know. The first time someone asked me for a picture, I charged. It was ridiculous. And then I thought, okay, it's ridiculous. Even if they cannot pay it, I cannot buy it for this price because it's absurd. I just don't get any money. I lose money because I can be watching TV and I would be making more money. Um, and I know I have to charge more, but um, mm, I don't know. Um, when I really when I get my leg better and I can go and search for clients, I'm sure I can raise prices
No, you
very.
can raise them now.
Yeah, okay.
You can.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let you off the hook because you're gonna go back and you're gonna rewatch this for level 5 and do a
Mhm.
description, and you're gonna hear yourself say at least 3 separate times since we've been on here, I know that I need to charge more money. I know
Yeah.
that I'm not making enough money. I know that I'm pretty much giving it away. So you know that.
Yeah,
You
I know.
know it's
Yeah.
fear that's talking, and that's everyone. And I used to do it too. When I get better equipment, when I have a bigger studio, then I'll feel comfortable because you need that validation. But any of the shoots that you showed me, were any of those paid?
Mm, excuse me.
Any of the pictures that you showed me today in critique, were any of those from paying clients or were they just portfolio building?
Oh, no, just one, the pregnant woman. And she paid,
Okay.
okay, it was ridiculous when she
Okay.
paid
No, no,
for that.
no, no, no. It's okay. So you're at 90, about 90 euros per session right
Yeah,
now, right?
90 to 200.
Okay. How many clients have you had come in and pay you for a session?
Not so many, maybe a dozen
A
in a
dozen.
year.
Okay. A dozen.
Yeah,
That's
because
fine.
I don't search them.
Okay, no problem. So you have had 12 people that have looked at the artistry you've created and said, I want that, and I'm willing to pay the price that you are asking for. Okay?
Hmm.
So we're going to double your prices tomorrow. Say
Okay.
yes. Say, yes, I am. I am committed to my success. I want to do this full time. Do you want this?
Yes, I do.
It has to be scary for you. You should be uncomfortable with it. Everything that you have ever accomplished in your life since you were a newborn has been an uncomfortable period of growth. It's supposed to be a little intimidating and scary. You're not outside your comfort zone if it's not, and if you're not outside your comfort zone, you are not growing. From getting up on your wobbly little legs and taking your first steps and falling on your face and getting up again, it's supposed to be scary. It's okay if you fall down. It's okay if you make mistakes. It's okay if you fail. It's not okay for you to sit there and not do it because you're afraid.
Yeah, I know.
Okay? So
Hmm.
you've already had 12 people at least validate you at your current prices. So I want you to double them. If you go 2 months, if we do this again at level 9 and you have not had a single client book you, then you're gonna sit down with me and go, you were totally wrong, JLark, and my phone has not rang the entire time that I've been gone and I haven't had one paid session, and I am going to financially compensate you for the loss of work.
Okay.
I'm dead serious. Scout's honor. I
Yeah.
will PayPal you the work because I do not believe that for a second. But I want you to keep in mind that even if you only book half the amount of sessions that you've done so far, you will still be making the same amount of money. You only have to have
Yeah.
half of them. Okay? I'm guaranteeing you that where your artistry is at now, if I was as good as you that early in my career, I would be making millions of dollars right now. You have the talent. I'm going to beat it into your head until you believe me, because I'm telling you that this is not going to stop you from making money. I'm willing to wager that you book the same amount of sessions that you've already booked, that you won't even blink an eye as far as having at least 12 other people in the next year book you. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and wager that as we move forward and you get to level 9 and level 10 and get a clearer view of where you're going, that you're going to have more people book you even though you're doubling your rates. Will
Okay.
you accept that challenge?
Okay. I have to think about it. I don't say
Why
I
do you
won't do
have to
it.
think about it?
Uh, um, because okay, it's the same I said. I think maybe there are people who can pay for this, but there are not so many people, and it's difficult to reach these people. It's the same thing with weddings. Weddings are easier to explain. Of course, there are 3,000 and 4,000 um, wedding photographers here in Spain, but there are just a few. And they don't work here in Spain. They do 2 or 3 weddings in Spain, and the rest they do outside because maybe they don't have the clients, or maybe they get more paid off. I don't know, but there's not so many people who can pay it. Not for the money they have. It's for the value they give it. I think. I think it's that. Um, every time we hear the same. It's just clicking the shutter. It's so easy. Everyone can do this.
But
Which is your
everybody can't.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Everybody
I know
can't.
personally.
Even in the Arcanum, even with all of the talent, and everybody that I picked is incredibly talented. If I asked them all to create an image like the ones you create, they could not do it. The same way that if I asked you to create an image the way that they could, you couldn't do it. This is your voice and your style and who you are as an artist. Nobody's ever going to pay you more than you ask them to. Whether you're charging $1 or 1,000 or 5,000, nobody's ever going to go, your work's so good, I just want to pay you double. You know, they're not going to do that. What you set your value at is what they're going to set your value at.
Yeah, that's right.
Please don't let me think higher of you than you think of yourself. Because you're training everybody else to value you at the same value that you have. And here's the thing is that you have nothing to lose right now. Nothing.
No.
This is just fear talking to you. That's the only thing it is you second guessing your own value. And I don't know why, because I can see it very, very clearly, very clearly. So
Yeah.
right now, you have another job that you work. You are not financially dependent solely on your photography. If you raise your rates for 3 months, I am personally guaranteeing, as your mentor, it is recorded and live, and everybody will see. I will send you the money.
Okay.
There is no risk here whatsoever. But
Yeah,
you have to want it, and you have to work for it. And if you don't feel comfortable doubling your prices, how about we go up 1.5? If you're charging 100 right now, how about 150? Is that a smaller step? Do you feel safer taking that one?
Yeah, totally.
Okay,
Yeah, sure.
then
I don't
let's
know
do that.
why. I know it's silly, but
It's okay. It's okay because it's hard. There's two kinds of people. When I did mine, I jumped from $250 and priced it at $1,500 off the bat, like that. Like I just leapt and was like, I'll just build wings on the way down to these really pointy rocks of destruction. But that's my personality. If it's not for you and you want to step up, it's fine. Then we'll raise it to 150. But I want you to be accountable, and every time that you book a session until level 10, I want you to just put a note somewhere in the Arcanum that says, I booked a session. Because when you have 5 clients come in and validate you, let's make it 6. You had 12 clients last year, right?
Yeah.
So when you have 6 clients come in and pay 150 instead of 100, you're going to commit to raising your prices to 200 because you've had that validated not only by me, but by the people that are actually paying the check for you. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's them saying you're worth this amount of money. So then you can raise it up to 200, and we'll do the same thing. When you get 5 clients that validate that, then you can go, okay, I'm obviously making money now, and you can raise it again. And the nice thing is that the higher you raise it, the less sessions you have to book. So if you book 1 or 2 less sessions, it doesn't matter because you're still making more money than you were.
Yeah.
You know, even with so you're doing less work and getting paid more. Doesn't this sound like a good idea?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
because we
does.
have to spend so many time in social and marketing and things like that. That would be great, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so in order to do that, it requires you to be brave.
Mm. I know, but I'm the most feary person in the world. I can assure you. Every one of my single images talks about fear.
And
Yeah,
that's
that's who
totally
I am.
okay as long as you recognize it because it's not about not being afraid, it's about not making your choices based on that fear.
Yeah, I know.
And you have an entire team of people willing to support you. And I'm willing to guarantee you that when we hang up this this critique, you're going to go into the chat and everybody's going to say what a beautiful job you did. And I've heard other people talking about how beautiful your work is. These are your peers. These are artists from all around the world.
I
You
know.
have clients that are paying for your work because it is beautiful and they want to be part of that. Hold to that. Don't hold to that voice in your head that's telling you that you're not worth that much. Just because you can't wrap your head around somebody spending that money. Because let me tell you, the other side of that is how fucking awesome it is when somebody goes, oh yeah, I'd love to drop $3,000 on a session with you, and you're like, really? I mean, yes, of course you can book that, and then you hang up the phone, and you're like, I just booked a $3,000 session, and you call everybody, and you tell everyone, and you come in the chat, and you're gonna be like, yes, it's so worth it to just jump over that little bit of fear. And here's the thing, like, what is the absolute worst that could happen? What are we afraid of? That your phone's not gonna ring?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you try it out for 3 months when you don't need the money because you have another income, then what happens? You can always go back down to that other price that you feel safe and comfortable at. But there's
Yeah,
no
that's right.
growth down there. You join the Arcanum to have somebody teach you and push you. That's exactly what's going on. You don't need me to teach you photography. You've got it. You don't need to learn the eye. You've got it. You have your message. You have your voice. You're right there. You don't need me to even teach you business. You just need me to kick you out of the nest and tell you to go fly.
Yeah.
You know, and
I think you're right. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Yeah,
Okay, that's all. If
probably
you say I'm
the
right, we're
reason why
done.
I'm here. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm here, in fact. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's totally right. That's why I'm having a friend helping me with marketing things, because I've spent 10 years of my life selling, and right now I don't know how to sell. That's silly. That doesn't make sense. I know it's fear. And now I love to be here because everyone helps me to be better, because I don't know, I get feedback, and I get uh, advices and things like that, and of course it's why I'm here. It's
Okay,
so obvious.
so here's what I want you to do. I want you
Okay.
to go into the group at some point this week, and I want you to post your current price list, and I want you to post the new one that you're doing. And
Okay.
for this one, I'm gonna let you choose how much you want to mark it up, but I want you to mark it up wherever you're at. If that's going from 90 to 100, that's fine. I'll let you set it. But here's what I want you to do. Wherever you go, okay, I can do this. Like, I'm going to raise it from 90 to 100. Then I want you to raise it to 110. Push it just a little bit past where you feel comfortable. Be brave with your
Okay.
choice. Your work is good, and the future that you want and what you want to be able to do, this is the price of it. You should be scared. If your dreams and what you're going for aren't scaring you, then they're timid. They're not big enough.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah,
You
I'll do it.
survived your critique. How are you
Oh,
feeling?
I'm feeling great. It was
Good.
great to talk to you. Yeah, yeah.
Good.
Okay, I'm feeling good.
All
It
right.
was
Well,
great.
you've survived, and I will see you again at level 9.
Oh, come on. Let's work.
Okay.
Okay, I'm willing
Bye.
to. Thank you so much.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye.